Hello and welcome to an Atlas update. My beautiful new frame. I am absolutely loving it. So I've got the first of the gold ones unlocked last night, this morning. Was that like 3 o'clock this morning I realized I had this one? So we've got the development frame there. Just got to show that off and flex because I'm absolutely loving the different gold frames. I want to collect all the gold frames. Finally unlocked my first one. So you'll also notice that we did a little bit of skirmishing this morning, and I got another 2 million merits. So quickly dropped in, got 2 million merits so I could get over that 20 million threshold. I was like, that feels so bad to be under that 20 million threshold. So I'm at 2130, and then their next is 13, 11, and then Bren at 4th place, down at almost 11. So absolutely just going ham with the merits there. I mean, it's so fluffy waffles. It's not, it's not 50, 80k merits or anything like that. But I think we're doing okay. We're doing okay. We're doing just okay there. So going to give you a bit of an update on the war and how everything's going with 666. Let's switch over here. Oh yeah, we're rocking it. Baby Atlas is up to 313,000 power. We are absolutely rocking it. So, war has slowed down a bit. Krathix is kind of offline. Whatever he's recharging, he needs to do him. Absolutely take the dog for a walk, spend some time with your family. You do you, take a break from the game. And that's what I told all the players to do last night. I said, you guys take a break from the game. So we went down to about 20 players on, and they launched a couple resistances. They banded together, got about maybe 30 players online. Launched a couple attacks, which is totally fine. You guys do you guys. Let's have some fun. Let's do that. Yeah, so we dropped down to about 20 players because I told everyone to go take a break, drink some water, have a nap, go to sleep, whatever, that kind of stuff, right? Other drama did happen, and they started. A little bit of banter is fine. I like a little bit of banter. It's fine in these types of games to do a bit of banter, but it crossed a line. And so I'm not going to sit here, because obviously I'm not standing. I'm not going to stand by, but I'm not going to sit here and allow their players to treat my players poorly. So I am not suited for R5. I understand that I'm not the best player. I'm not even in the top 1,000 players. R5 really isn't my position, isn't really for me. I've always toyed with the idea of like, what would it be like to be at R5, right? You think about it, but you're like, I never want that responsibility because now I'm not just responsible for my gameplay. I'm responsible for my entire alliance's gameplay, our gameplay. I consider myself an R4, and my job as the R4 is overseeing all of the other R4s in the alliance itself. So that's my job there. That's how I view it. I don't view myself as being above any other player. Like we have Mizzy Tanker there, that's an absolute fantastic player. He's been playing the game since it came out. We have a really strong Vietnamese. We have really great players. We have a new migrant here. Oh, not you. Right here, right here. He just came to Northern Water Tribe, and he's like, honestly, all these guys in Northern Water Tribe are awesome. And I'm like, yeah, super chill people. We're just watched them defend today. They were outnumbered big time, but still won. So what ended up happening is 665 and 668 are in an alliance together, and they will be moving to 674. And so they banded together, attacked us, and we held off. So we do need to push. I mean, they've kind of built, like, as other people have described it, built it like rats because their whole job is to slow us down from getting the Necro, Where if we can get the Necro on this side, which obviously they've built more, we just don't have the players to go. Like, we're split against two whole separate alliances, okay? So we'll need to fight over the Necro at the bottom there, and we're fighting over here for this Necro. Obviously, that one extra Amber isn't going to take precedent over going for the Dragon. But, yeah, so things got a bit heated and things got a bit out of control. And so I gave them several warnings. We tried talking about it. It couldn't come to a conclusion, so I did sanction the burning of cities. Oh, no. The burning of cities. What was happening is we're doing a war with no city burning, okay? That's fine. That's what we set up. But 665 started lying to us and then started threatening our players. And this goes past a little bit of banter. I'm fine with a little bit of banter, as I was saying. I think it's fun. It's good. You know, you could poke some fun. Whatever. Right? Let's go back and forth. But as soon as they started threatening my players, and what they're doing is they're leaving their castles in the destroyed land, and they're fighting from these castles here, and we're not burning them. So they're just popping in and out of their different castles, and it was starting to upset a lot of players. Like, this whole area was just filled with castles. They left their castles in our territory, all of that kind of stuff. It was starting to upset a lot of players. And then they started acting like that. They started saying, you know, they started threatening some of the other R4s, and I'm like, I don't stand for that. Okay, our agreement, I'm trying to be nice to you guys. Like, I'm new as an R5 here. I don't know what you and Zuko had set up before, right? I don't know all this kind of stuff, right? I'm new here. I've been here for a couple days. You guys have to have patience with me. And then, you know, when they start swearing, once they start getting upset with you, once they start threatening them, I said, no, it's done. It's done. We've been playing nice. We haven't burnt. We ended up hitting one city, and I talked to the guy, and he was like, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to. Okay, it's chill, right? We can send them some resources or something like that, you know, an apology. Hey, man, it was an accident. It was one city got touched, okay? Okay, we're sorry. We're sorry. Let's rein it in, which all the players did, and they're really good about doing that, right? We had opportunities to burn all of their cities down. This whole area was filled with cities. We could have hit 30, 40 cities of theirs, and we didn't. And then they started threatening us, and I was like, nope, that's it. Any city that's left in our territory is allowed to be burned. And so we did start burning cities. And like, we hit 3 cities, and then their R4s came to us. They apologized to us. So when I said, hey, man, if you're willing to apologize, I want us just to have fun, and I understand burning cities causes players. 1, it causes a bad reputation for us, and 2, it causes players to quit. We don't want that, right? We don't want players to quit. So let's, figure out something that we can do here and come to an agreement. So they did apologize to us, and then we held off on the burning of cities. And we have gotten most of their players to relocate back into their own alliance there. And I've been sending messages to them when I see them come online. Please. We can even show, if I remember where it's at. Right here. Yeah, please move back to your own territory. Okay, thank you when he did so. Right, so I've got about 5 hours of sleep now. And that's one of the issues with being R5, and that's one of the issues with I think I'm not suited for R5, is I am a little trigger happy. I mean, being a 90 million power player, and you having this kind of power in Season 1 and stuff like that, you can be a little trigger happy because T3s are absolutely nothing compared to T5s. If somebody's running at me with T3s, they just get absolutely melted. You need those army of T4s, and you need some coordination. So, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have allowed a few cities to get burned. We ended up hitting 3 cities. 3 or 4 cities that we ended up burning a bit, and if they're willing to apologize, if they're willing to play ball, I can't allow any single of one of my members to take abuse like that. This is a video game, and we're here to have fun. You know, that's what it comes down to, right? And if you're going to, you know, cross that line, then absolutely, you know, we're winning the war up here in the north. Like, we've claimed a lot of their territory already. You know, yeah, it's taken 24 hours to get this far, but we're also battling them on the south side. So we've split up and we're fighting both, you know, two alliances at the same time. So only 50% of our forces are designated to the north here. So, you know, we have a responsibility to your players as well, not to do this. But if they're going to act in poor character, if their management is going to act in poor character, then there's going to be consequences. And they're like, you know, comeuppance will happen to you when you're in the flip position. Absolutely, but I would rather my city get burnt than any other one of my alliance members, right? And absolutely, my city one day will probably get burnt. You know, it's inevitable. It's part of being in this war game. So, but at the end of the day, as long as we act with honesty and loyalty, you know, we can sleep at night knowing that we had preferred. Like, I can sleep at night. Oh, there goes Zuko. Nice. Zuko's going in there. You know, I could sleep at night saying, you know what? We had upstanding character. I don't like deceit. I don't like lying to people, even if it's the enemy, right? You know, what are your plans for season 3? Okay, I don't know yet, right? We're still debating that. I've only been to R3 for 2 or 3 days now, right? That's not a lie. It's complete honesty. You know, I've sat at the table and I've talked to several of the other R5s already of the other kingdoms. I will be open and honest about that. But I can't make a decision immediately, right? I got to get a feel of everything. I got to handle season 2. You know, we're working on some stuff. I got to try and get out mails. I got to, you know, there's little fires that I got to put out here and there, right? Like Alliance gifts, right? So that popped up immediately. So it was like, how do I hand out Alliance gifts? And everyone was complaining, like, how do we earn Alliance gifts? Well, I'm going to be doing Alliance gifts based off of, and we have it right here. Oh, let me kill, I'll get back to you. Right here. So we have a new mail that's going out that this other R4 wrote for me, so thank you very much. I appreciate it. And we could just see that Alliance gifts, right, will be based off of Alliance rankings. And then I'm also doing it, no receiving a gift more than 2 times in a row in a week. I probably talked about that in the other video. So it's just, I'm putting out small fires, getting stuff done, and trying to organize the Alliance, the R4s, all that kind of stuff. But that doesn't give me a right to tell every other R5, you know, that's going to be in Season 3 with us, hey, we'll team up with you, and then we don't team up with them. I'm not going to do that to them. I'm not going to mislead them. I'm not going to lie to them. You know, when they ask me, I'm going to be open and honest. And yeah, I get it. Deception's part of the game. Lying's part of the game. But it doesn't... I don't have to do that. Right? I don't have to lie. I get stuff wrong all the time. You'll see on my Thea video, you'll see I have a comment. And I got the rage skill incorrect. It only hits 2 legions. Your legion and 1 other. Rather than your legion and 2 others. Okay, I was wrong. I'm learning this game as well. Right? I'm not going to sit here and be like, hey, I'm the absolute be-all, end-all. If you disagree with something, you disagree with something. You don't have to use my builds. You don't have to, you know, agree with how I handle a situation. And that's totally up to you. That's your choice. So yeah, that's just kind of an update on the drama of what's been happening with 666 here. And soon, I've got about 2 days left until I migrate my main account back to 666. So yeah, we're just having fun. I think our members have been waiting for a war for so long. They're having some fun. It's just been a most of the time, like 90% of this war has been good and positive. 99% of this war has been good and positive. So I don't want to focus on the negative, other than those, 4 or 5 cities that did get burnt in the end. They didn't get zeroed or anything like that. They just got hit and burnt. You know, but it does show that there is consequences for people's actions, and there will be consequences for my actions in the future. And at the end of the day, I have to live with that, and so do they. So yeah, thanks for tuning in.